Hi gorgeous, it's me Vasilikis, and in this video we are going to be testing the Illamasqua Unveiled Artistry palette. The price for this palette is $50 and we have 12 eyeshadows. It is vegan and cruelty free, and I'm going to show you how to do this soft, glamorous, smoky eye look. Share this video with a friend that likes eyeshadow palettes, and also don't forget to subscribe for more makeup reviews and tutorials. I'm very excited to try this palette today because it was my choice on for the boxycharm of July, and as you can see we have a plastic layer with the names of the eyeshadows. I have already done the swatches of these eyeshadows and they are very creamy and promising. What I don't like is that these three eyeshadows in the swatches are not so different. Yes, you can see they are not the same eyeshadow, but I would prefer if we had a darker brown eyeshadow maybe instead of these two. First of all, zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm going to start with this one here. It is called Assured, and with an eye blender brush by Essence, I'm going to blend this in the crease. This is actually more intense on the eyes than what I was anticipating. It blended very nicely on the skin. After that, I'm going to the next one, this one here. This one is called Poise, and I'm going to blend it in the outer crease. This is definitely darker than the previous eyeshadow. I'm also buffing this in the outer eyelid. And the brush that I'm using is the 2-in-1 color correcting and contouring brush by Essence. This shade is very blendable as well. I still think that we could have only one of these eyeshadows, even though they are not exactly the same on the eyes. They are not so much different. With the same brush, I'm going to take this eyeshadow here. It is called Muse, and I'm going again in the outer crease. This one is a lot darker than the previous two eyeshadows. It is super soft on the skin. I also think it makes my skin smoother. It's very fast to blend the matte eyeshadows. I'm super happy about that. Following that, I'm taking this one in the corner. It is called Fearless, and I'm going to place this in the inner eyelid. It is very shiny with my brush, and I'm using the eyeshadow brush by Essence, and then I'm taking with the same brush this here. It is called Chutpa, and I'm going to place it on the outer eyelid. This is super gorgeous, very shiny. I'm taking the previous eyeshadow and I'm going to blend the two eyeshadows together on the center of the eyelid. The shimmery eyeshadows are adding a little bit of texture on my eyes. They can intensify a lot of lines that I don't know that I have there. I'm taking a smaller brush and this shade here. It is called Distinct, and I'm going to place this in the inner part of the lower eye. This one has a very nice saturation of color, and I can see with just a little bit of the eyeshadow that it has a shiny finish. That's definitely a plus. I'm going to continue with eyeshadow Bold, and I'm placing this on the center of the lower eye, and after that I'm taking the eyeshadow Vivacity and I'm buffing this on the outer part of the lower eye. As we can see, these two eyeshadows are not so different on the eyes. I can't really tell that I have two eyeshadows on the outer part. Also, you can see that in the swatches here, I would prefer if one of these eyeshadows was a little bit darker so we could clearly see that they are not the same on the eyes. Let's continue with a pencil brush, and this one here. It is called Zealous, and I'm going to place this in the inner corner. This eyeshadow looks stunning. I think it is my favorite eyeshadow of the palette. It is super shiny and I like that it doesn't intensify any texture here. I want to try this eyeshadow here, and I'm taking a much smaller brush. This one is by e.l.f. The eyeshadow is called Empower, and with this one I'm going to define the outer corner of the eye. This eyeshadow blends fantastically easily. It makes my skin even smoother. I have used just a little bit and it was very easy to blend it. In the swatches, this one doesn't look so intense. It looks more like a very light chocolatey eyeshadow, but on the eyes it gives very nice depth, and I really like this eyeshadow. I almost forgot to use this one. It is called Honor, and with this one I'm going over the edges of the lower eye. This one gives a very nice smoothing effect. I'm in love with the matte eyeshadows of the palette. I want to clean a little bit the edges here, and you can see how much product I removed. So let's go to the other one. I'm also taking eyeshadow Spirit, and with this one I'm going to highlight the inner part of the crease. Basically blend a little bit these eyeshadows. This one has nice pigmentation and I can actually highlight the inner part. I'm also taking some with an eyeshadow brush And I'm going to clean the edges here. With an eyebrow brush by Essence, I'm taking the darker eyeshadow and I'm going to define the upper lash line. I'm very impressed with eyeshadow Empower. I have applied mascara on my lashes. This one is the Essence Lash Princess Volume Mascara. I did a review and close-ups of this one. I'm going to have a link in the description box. And about the palette, I like the matte eyeshadows a lot. They are super soft on the skin. I didn't like two shimmery eyeshadows because they added texture on my eyelid. Today I'm testing two concealers that were very crusty and flaky, so I want to give this the benefit of the doubt and I'm gonna use those two eyeshadows again. And about the color story, as I have said before, I would prefer if we didn't have these two eyeshadows and we had one and a darker one. Also about these two here, I would prefer if one of them was lighter or maybe darker. I was very impressed by this one because it was so beautiful on the skin. The formula reminds me a lot of the Natasha Denona eyeshadows, but with these shades here I actually have the sheen of the shimmery eyeshadows, so I prefer this formula more. The packaging is super pretty and elegant. We have this velvety finish. Also it has a nice weight to it. However, for $50 I would prefer if the names of the eyeshadows were actually on the palette instead of having this plastic layer. If it was cheaper I wouldn't mind this one here. I'm gonna give this palette 4 stars because of the shimmery eyeshadows and also the color story. And you can find here the review of the Essence Lash Princess mascaras. I have close-ups for all of them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!